here today to talk about wood art and design. And in order for me to talk about art and design, I would like to introduce or briefly talk about my background, because I believe that the design or what we make strongly respond upon culture and environment and my own personality. And is my English all right? I'm gonna go. And here, this collage is collection of images from Japan. Just a glance of Japanese culture. And I studied architecture for my undergraduate. Went to an art school in Tokyo. And after I finished architecture, undergraduate study, I went to a private woodworking school. I spent 1 year working at architecture firm, design office, but I just did not quite like enough to sit in front of the computer or making a small scale model. I wanted to do something using my hand. And I found this school, Shinrin Takumijuku, located in Takayama City in Gifu Prefecture. And it is a 2 years program, woodworking school, established in 1991, and to foster woodworkers who would contribute to maintain Japanese wooden culture and its tradition. And this school runs interesting way, which is the school serves as a subcontractor for a parent company called Oak Village. And so the school has a 2 years curriculum, and the main part is, of course, woodworking, but also on the side, the students grow rice. So rice, woodworking and rice cultivation, and also forestry. We learn and act replanting trees. So student plant rice and take care of rice field, and in the fall we harvest them. And that money all goes to school to run the school as well. And also forestry, we study of environmental ecosystem, and also tree planting and replant that tree when that tree grow tall enough, big enough, let's say 3 to 5 years for maple or oak trees, and we bring that little tree back to forest or mountains. Here, so as I mentioned, the program is 2 years, and the first year students, this image shows that first year students working as a team of 3 or 4, and mostly done by machine, and learn to produce small items of large quantities, such as boxes and frames and toys. And the second year students, using a combination of hand tools and machinery, and also working as a team or sometimes alone, learn to build a batch of 5 to 30 chair, table, benches, and one-off type of commissioned piece of furniture. And so I learned woodworking. I was trained Japanese woodworking there for 2 years, and then stayed and worked as a staff assistant or supervising that assembly line for 4 years. And when I was working as a staff at the Takumijuku, I met first time Wendy, who just presented before me. And the many thanks to Wendy, she provided me an opportunity to study abroad under Wendy's program, and that was my biggest turning point of my life, and that kind of led me to move to United States. And this is the first piece that I made in the United States. And I was so used to use solid wood only. In that school, we use more than a 90% solid wood. Maybe like less than a 10% is sheet goods, plywood. So I wanted to challenge myself what I can do with my skill. And so this here is trying to design and build an unconventional type of piece of furniture using plywood, solid wood, walnut, and pencils that inspired by, I hope you can tell, Wells Wheel. And in the graduate school, I think my interest kind of shifted from making a functional piece to more sculpture, because I learned during the graduate study that I can use wood with my skill to communicate other people. Because now that I'm talking in English, sort of like okay, but when I just moved in the United States, my English wasn't like this. And I was only able to communicate with other students using hands and doing some type of demonstration and my facial gesture and my gesture. And so my interest to working with wood, woodworking, shifted to more using that medium and skill to express myself and communicate with other people. And so my interest in the past 5 to 10 years, my passion is to make a three-dimensional object using wood and woodworking techniques to convey somewhat emotional quality. So this is one piece that I made during the graduate school. This is the detail. And the water coming out from the vessel and it follows the sphere and going back to the vessel. And this piece is a token for my gratitude towards my grandmother. And this is about 5-6 meters long and using plywood and using almost 5,000 woodworking, most common joinery modes and tenon joint. This is detail. Again, detail. And this is titled Being, abstract way to imply it for human. And the detail. Again, oh shoot, what's my bad? That's detail. And this is wall hand sculpture using a plumb bob. And this piece is about 2 meters long in both way, this way and height. And none of the parts used glue. It's all jointly connected and under the tension. And this is the detail. And this piece is main part, the pot part is using both making and coopering and steam bending, all sorts of like technique used to create the main part of this pot, and painted using acrylic paint, but still you can see 3D grain. And this is about 11 feet tall. So that's 3 meters. And this is also using a steam bending technique and suspended from the ceiling and about 3 meters long. The detail. This is a small wall hang sculpture to represent sort of like my life. Since I finished grad school, I haven't lived more than 1 year, more than 1 year at one spot. It's like I'm like pretty nomad life, so kind of indicating the wheel and house all together. And this is a chase, a combination of wood and ceramics. And this is the installation piece. The title is Battle. And this is a combination of wood and Japanese paper The title is Burst. And this is Whisper, using ash. And this is Detail. And then I think this is my last images. It's about this size. Looks like an alien, the creature, using ash and white pigmented oil. They are 108 antennas and 3 points to stand this up. The egg-like shape is completely hollow, so it's light. And I think this is my last images. Thank you very much.